How you guys doing? It's your pal Double D coming at you with more breaking news. Wizards of the Coast has stuck their proverbial foot in their mouth with the leaked release of the Open Gaming License 1.1. They appear to be rethinking that, and I think it's because a lot of people are canceling their D&D Beyond. We shall see. They were supposed to have a live stream on Twitch, and they canceled that, so they are in survival mode right now. Added on top of that, Paizo came out with an announcement that they were releasing their own gaming license, which ended up being sort of confusing. We'll get to it. In fact, why don't we just get into it now, and we can look at it together. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so this is the official release from Paizo, and you can see here, they just kind of give an opening where they were talking about the rumors of WotC's new version, probably hoping they weren't true. We've been waiting further information, hoping that Wizards would realize that. Well, there's not a lot of bright people left in that company on the creative or apparently the business side. The OGL has been a mutually beneficial license, I agree, which should not and cannot be revoked. Well, I think we got to be careful here. You know, that could potentially be proven in court. While we continue to await an answer from Wizards, we strongly feel that Paizo can no longer delay making our own feelings about the importance of open gaming a part of the public discussion. We believe that any interpretation that the OGL 1.0 or 1.0A were intended to be revocable or able to be deauthorized is incorrect, and with good reason. Again, it could be a judge that decides that. We were there. Oh boy. Paizo owner Lisa Stevens and President Jim Butler were leaders on the D&D team at Wizards at the time. Brian Lewis, co-founder of Azora Law, the intellectual property law firm that Paizo uses, was the attorney at Wizards who came up with the legal framework for the OGL itself. All right, so you definitely have someone who probably knows what he's talking about. Paizo has also worked very closely on OGL-related issues with Ryan Dancy, the visionary who conceived the OGL in the first place, and probably the guy that Hasbro wants to have their hands around his throat. Paizo does not believe that the OGL 1.0 can be deauthorized ever. Well, again, we shall see. And I mean, just because you have the author of the OGL, the lawyer, who specializes in intellectual property, that is not a guarantee that it can't be deauthorized. I think we will probably eventually get to the bottom of this. While we are prepared to argue that point in a court of law, if need be, it sounds like you may have to, but we'll see. Wizards of the Coast is getting colder feet as we speak. We don't want to have to do that, and we know that many of our fellow publishers are not in a position to do so. We have no interest whatsoever in WotC's new OGL, well, you and everybody else. Instead, we have a plan that we believe will irrevocably and unquestionably keep alive the spirit of the OGL. Intriguing, no? As Paizo has evolved, the parts of the OGL that we ourselves value have changed. Okay. When we needed to quickly bring out Pathfinder First Edition to continue publishing our monthly adventures back in 2008, using WotC's language was important and expeditious. But in our non-RPG products, we shifted our focus away from D&D tropes to lean harder into ideas from our own writers. Yeah, writers like Jessica Price, Crystal Fraser. Trust me, if you're thinking, well, Paizo is one of the good guys here, this is the classic Hitler and Stalin. Pick your poison. They're both pretty bad, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Seems like everybody jumped all over this and was just ecstatic. I still don't know what this means. I honestly don't. We'll continue, though. See if we can suss it out, huh? By the time we went to work on Pathfinder 2nd Edition, WotC's open gaming content was significantly less important to us. And so our designers and developers wrote the new edition without using Wizards' copyrighted expression of any game mechanics. Okay. While we still published it under the OGL, then why did you do that? They may have you there. The reason was no longer to allow Paizo to use Wizards' expressions, but to allow other companies to use our expressions. Well, you're going to have to argue that in front of a judge. Perhaps. We believe, as we always have, that open gaming makes games better, improves profitability for all involved, and enriches the community of gamers who participate in the hobby. And so we invite gamers from around the world to join us as we begin the next great chapter of open gaming, with the release of a new open, perpetual, and irrevocable open RPG creative license. Orc. Oh boy. All right. Orc will be built system agnostic for independent game publishers under the legal guidance of Azora Law, an intellectual property law firm that represents Paizo and several other game publishers. What prompted the original open gaming license was third parties could produce stuff as being fit for D&D, right? What value does this have if it's system agnostic? Why wouldn't you just go to your own system? Like, it makes no sense. In other words, why would somebody like RPG Pundit, or Troll Lord or folks like that, why would they sign up for a system agnostic open RPG creative license when they can just make their own stuff? I mean, you don't need this. This is sounding more and more just like a PR release, and also a way to get it out in the public that we will go to court. I can't see much value here. I mean, do people make third-party products for Paizo? Maybe they do. Paizo puts out so much crap. I just figured that they had flooded the market for their system. Anyway, in addition to Paizo, Kobold Press, Chaosium, well, that's new Chaosium, Green Ronin, boy. Legendary Games, never heard of them. Rogue Genius Games, never heard of them. And a growing list of publishers have already agreed to participate in the Open RPG Creative License. And in the coming days, we hope and expect to add substantially to this group. Well, okay. What are they signing up for? Nobody has been able to answer this to my satisfaction. There's no system. There's no mechanics. Is it just you're going to be able to put this stupid orc license on a product? And but I mean, it could have this label on it and be for dozens of different systems, which is just going to lead to confusion. No? Am I reading this wrong? You guys tell me in the comments, huh? The orc will not be owned by Paizo, and I think here they're just going down like being the anti-Wizards of the Coast. We're not going to pull it away, blah blah blah. But it doesn't. There's nothing really to pull away. I mean, I don't know how much value this has. Of course, Paizo plans to continue publishing Pathfinder and Starfinder even as we move away from the OGL. Well, you should have just gotten rid of it. I don't know why they included it in the second edition anyway, but they wanted the best of both worlds. Since months worth of products are still at the printer, you'll see the familiar OGL in the back of our products for a while yet. Well, that's right. While the Open RPG Creative License is being finalized, we'll be printing Pathfinder and Starfinder products without any license, and we'll add the finished license to those products when the new license is complete. We hope you'll continue to support Paizo and other game publishers in this difficult time for the entire hobby. Well, I agree with the other game publishers, mostly. Support Pathfinder and Starfinder by visiting your local game store, subscribing to Pathfinder and Starfinder, taking advantage of discount code OpenGaming, blah, 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 blah. All right, bunch of crap. Forever, Paizo. I actually did play. We did play Pathfinder for a little bit. It was like going back to 3rd edition. It was fine. A little too rules heavy. It kind of filled the gap between 4th edition and 5th edition, and that's all it really did for us. It was like a meal that was perfectly acceptable. It filled you up. It didn't set any records for taste, but it's just D&D. It's just D&D with a different label. But this new license, what is this new license? It's not D&D with a different label. Is it their own system? Well, they say it's system agnostic. Is it like snake oil? getting those vibes. I don't know. Well, we'll see. There are a lot of people on Twitter that are very excited. You can see here, very cool. Excited to see more and signed up to give feedback on it too. Okay. Just to set the record straight early, the excellent idea to have this new and forever irrevocable OGL owned by a nonprofit 501c3 was my buddy and fellow lawyer, Mark Greenberg. We don't care. Stop flexing. That deserves a big salute. Blah, blah, blah. Smartest decision you've made in a while. Hope you stick to it when WotC tries to woke screen and pull the content moderation card. Hey, there we go. We might have one of us there. Irrevocable, perpetual, paid for by Paizo, but made for everyone and owned by a nonprofit foundation. Unbelievably based. You guys rock. Yeah, but what is it? Nobody can answer. I feel like I'm alone in the wilderness. I think I posted here. Yeah, there it is. Can anyone tell me what this is actually a license for? Are they relicensing the original OGL in some way, or is this based on their own 2.0? I don't even think they know. I'm sure they'll put some meat on the bone, but in the end, you don't have what the original open gaming license had, and that was producing products for the most popular role-playing game, the most notable role-playing game in the world. Now, granted, Pathfinder, has gotten a big market share, and they're probably going to get more. But I'm just not sure why, companies, especially bigger ones, maybe like Green Ronin, even Kobold Press, are going to be signing up for this. Maybe just to grab a little extra cash. Who knows? Just make your own stuff or stick to your own system. I think, honestly, Troll Lord probably has the right idea. They're all in on their own system. I don't think they need to do any licenses or anything. I'm sure they'll let people produce stuff for them. Who knows? But this just seems kind of silly at this time. But I'll try to keep up on it for you guys. And that is all I have. Just wanted to get this out real quick because it is sort of breaking news. So I will talk to you later. You guys have a great, great rest of the day, and we'll talk soon. Goodbye.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi. Good night, everybody.